Hannah was always a very happy person, one of those sort of children with a ready smile. And she's just, you know, that expression people say about flourishing into a young woman, that was what we were witnessing.
Hannah Foster was a bright, popular 17-year-old who dreamed of becoming a doctor and was preparing to sit her A-levels. But on Friday the 14th of March 2003, on her way home from a night out with friends, she disappeared. Abducted, raped and murdered within a few hundred yards of her house. It has taken 5 years, 400 police officers and a manhunt that has spanned 2 continents to finally bring her killer to justice. Hannah had gone out that night to meet friends at the Hobbit pub on Beavis Valley Road. From there they'd moved on to the So Bar nearby. But just after 10:30, Hannah and her best friend Helen Wilkinson decided to go home. These are the last pictures of Hannah Foster. Hannah's on the left, Helen the right. They're walking up Portswood High Street to the bus stop outside the Mitre pub, where they would wait together for Helen's bus to arrive. At 10 to 11, Hannah waved her friend off on the bus and headed home on her own along Shaftesbury Avenue. 10 minutes later, at 11 o'clock, a 999 call was made from her mobile. It seemed to be silent, so she was cut off after 2 minutes. But when it was analysed later by sound technicians, they could hear a man and a woman's voice in the background.
"Emergency, which service? Hello," says the operator. "You belong this country," says the man. "Yeah," says Hannah. "England," says the man. "Yeah, I'm English," says Hannah. "Yeah." "Home, Farrington," says Hannah. The operator tries again. "My name," the operator interrupts again. "Huh," says the man. "My name is Sarah." "Sarah," he says. "Yes." "I want," he begins, and what follows is unclear. The operator tries again. "15," says Hannah. "15." "Yeah," says Hannah. "What, 15?" he says. "15," says Hannah. "I took this house," he says. The emergency operator tells her to tap the handset if she's unable to speak.
Police think this was Hannah, trying to call for help without her attacker realising. The jury were shown CCTV of the defendant's van at 2 minutes to 11 that night. "That call was made from that van, Mr. Coley, wasn't it?" said the prosecution. "She was just a tiny girl. You are a strong man. She was too frightened to scream or defend herself, and you pushed her in that van and you drove off." Hannah's body was found 2 days later, 4 miles away, in a bramble-filled ditch by the side of the road. She'd been raped and strangled. In the hours after he'd dumped her body, Meninder Coley carried on as normal. He turned up for his sandwich delivery round and went about it as usual, pausing only to drop Hannah's mobile phone and handbag into this bottle bank in Southsea. Then he went home early, telling his boss he had a bad bag. 3 days later, Meninder Coley boarded a flight to India. He shaved off his beard and his hair, he changed his name, and he thought he'd disappeared, back into the bustling anonymity of his native Punjab. But in July last year, the game was finally up, and Meninder Coley was returned to the UK and into the custody of Hampshire Police. DNA tests proved his matched that found on Hannah's body with a certainty of 1 billion to 1. He had tried to claim that he too had been abducted that night, that he'd been bound, blindfolded and forced to have sex with a young woman he now came to realise must have been Hannah Foster. A pack of lies from start to finish, said the prosecution, and the jury agreed. Hannah would have been just starting out as a junior doctor by now. She was the sort of girl, said her parents, you just always felt proud of. And so they have listened to her desperate 999 call. They have heard the details of what was done to her. And they have watched as her killer has lied and lied again to try to get away with it. Because justice, finally, was their last promise to Hannah. Katie Stallard, Sky News, Winchester Crown Court.